All right. You guys are still here. I can't believe it. All right. Fantastic. Part two, class 5, foreground as an invitation. So the last one we worked on with grasses and flowers. And now we're going to bring in, you can see, let me go ahead and spotlight it here. Painting we were working on last week in class. What a mess.
No, it's not.
Oh,
No,
it is.
it's
Let's see if we can organize it a little bit. Let's see if we can clean it up. You guys can begin to see like these little bits of ideas of where I'm thinking the rocks might land and different things. But now is the opportunity to really start carving out these formations and these different shapes. So we've got the sunlight up in the right corner somewhere, kind of coming through. We're going to have these trees that are going to be very strongly backlit. And then on the left side, we've got trees that are, going to be side lit more. And we've got all these different just formations of big rocks and boulders. I don't know, for those of you who live in Northern Europe, or for those of you who live in the Pacific Northwest, you've probably seen, we don't call it going to the beach. We call it going to the coast.
We go to the shore.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
How hoity-toity. And yeah, there's the whole drive along the 101 from Canada all the way down into northern California. It's just so beautiful. These big, just rocky cliffs dropping right into the sea. Of course, there's some beautiful beaches and stuff, but I just love it. And so I want to bring some of that energy, some of that excitement. Luckily, our coast faces west, so we get beautiful sunsets. And anyways, that's what I'm going to be chasing. So I want to continue what we did with the first part of this class, is having a conversation about, this painting basically was started almost as a no tan, right? Just really light, really dark, did it in black and white acrylic paint. And I've just been bringing in the colors. And here's my next quick question, so I don't forget, is next week, I'm hoping it'll be dry enough. I would love to actually use that time to glaze into both of the paintings, to just shift some of the color, show you how I use glazing
Yeah.
on a finished painting. Because again, Michelle and I have talked multiple times about the fact that I just don't finish paintings in classes. It's always starts and maybe a little bit of the middle. So I thought it'd be really fun to work my way through a couple big, more refined paintings that I intend for galleries. So would you guys like to see that next week?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Towards the glazing styles. Okay, great. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump up there, and I wish I had thought this out, but you can see that I'm beginning to come up with ideas, right? Like this layering of rocks, even though it's just barely put in there. I put in some highlights. I don't like this shape at all. And then thinking again about where's this light coming through? It's coming through here. It's hitting this wave. So that means it's going to be hitting the sides of these rocks more, the side of this rock. This rock will probably be in shadow, which makes this wave so much more effective, right? It's got this real strong contrast of light and dark. One thing I kind of realized, and maybe I shouldn't even mention this yet, is that I've got one crashing wave and no other waves. So I'm trying to think of like, how do I build the formation, of baby waves building up as they come to shore? Probably won't deal with that in front of you guys because I want to deal with the foreground. So how do I use these darks, which I almost think kind of works, besides they're messy. Like, I actually don't hate the fact that there's not a lot of information here.
Well, given the time of day.
What's that?
Given the time of day, there shouldn't be
not much.
A lot of information there.
That's what I get to work on, is these really strong contrasts of the edges getting hit by light, but then a lot of areas in shadow. So if I don't just want a big, dark, black form, right? Like, if you were buying this painting, you'd be like, oh, what a ripoff. You just painted this flat and with all dark, unless you like really graphic stuff. But how do I bring in detail and information into this area
Well, you
when
can
it's
have,
not being hit by the light.
yeah,
a
as long
different-
as you keep it that same dark value, you can use lots of different colors in there and have lots of interest.
Yeah.
Man, what a brown noser. Jeez,
Uh-huh.
that was the perfect answer. All right, well, class is dismissed, and I'll see you guys next week.
No.
All right.
Yeah, but now do it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the hard part. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, it
That was
is.
the perfect, that was literally the perfect answer. Is within those values, and we're going to get lighter, right? We're not going to be dark, dark. We'll have dark, dark in the ultimate shadows. But again, what I want you guys to think about is a lot of times you have a light source, which is really strong. But remember that this light is bouncing off the dome of the sky, which is even behind us, right?
Mm.
And reflecting back in. So you have a very subtle, it's not, and what's happening is the light above us is cooler, and then the light behind us is quite a lot cooler, right? I mean, if you've ever been out at sunset, at first, like everything is just black or, you know, dark, dark or light, right? And then your eyes begin to adjust, and all of a sudden you can see the greens in the trees.
About those two trees there on the right,
Uh-huh.
are you planning something more with them maybe, or are they going to stay like that?
We should start with them because that's the best part.
Yeah.
Who wants to eat the frosting first?
Sure, why not?
I want to wipe out the frosting, so, or make it a Christmas tree and add some lights. And
All right. So this, I mean, this is literally the frosting. Like I sometimes think I paint for this kind of stuff. I love backlit. I love
Yeah,
that
you do.
light emitting through. It is such a, just, it's the candy for me.
well, those are too evenly spaced and scrawny, so they kind of disrupt rather than appeal to me.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. You hate candy.
No,
Well,
I
it
like
does
the
look
candy
like
on the
there
other
might be a
side.
third trunk there that could be exploited.
I like the candy on the other side. I just don't like the candy on the
Good.
right side.
Yeah, you
No,
like
I
prune flavored
agree.
candy. I like cherry flavored candy.
I do tend to agree though, because they are so tall on the right.
Yeah.
Like on the left, they make
Versus-
sense, but on the right, they don't make sense to me.
Closer.
No, you guys are all right again. You're all correct. So what if I had just left those as just markers?
Yeah. Then what?
Right? Those are just ideas and scratchings for me. Again, a lot of the times when I'm doing that black and white and that underpainting, it's just a matter of a blueprint, right? It's the foundation on
Oh,
which
I
everything
get it.
will be built.
Sorry.
So
One
no,
little
everything you're
tiny-
saying is correct. What's that?
One little tiny one that is of the same muted color of the ones on the left, then I'd be fine with it. But they're
No,
very
I'm-
green.
I'm going to
Yeah,
do the
I'd take the
opposite.
top of that hill off altogether. Let some light come back.
All right, the
Bring out
last
the
one was a
dynamite.
conversation. This one's this time I'm the dictator.
Oh, okay.
I have an idea on this one. The last time we were painting by committee, and we will paint by committee, but I just want to show you what I was thinking, which is impossible for you guys to know, and I understand that completely.
Well, that's why I
The
asked.
sun
I
is
said,
back
do you
there.
have something planned?
Do it.
I do. Watch. You see the red?
Yeah.
So these are backlit. So all of a sudden we're going to get this beautiful. I mean, this is going to be a tough thing, is because this already becomes a focal point, right? Just even that little bit of red, try not to look at it. Like literally just blur your eyes at the whole painting and your eye goes to here, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I know that. But I'm also, as I paint more and more, I'm less scared about putting focal areas in weird spots. But I'm also with the knowledge that I want to, how do I use this? So, okay, jumping ahead again. So just so I don't freak you guys out too much, the red here, right? I'm going to have that because I want it to be backlit. So if you ever look at like a photo where there's a figure in front of the sun and all of a sudden they get this little red penumbra kind of illuminated halo around them,
Right.
right? Do you see how the more I put in, the almost more natural it feels,
Yeah.
especially when I kind of describe that feeling? So imagine now I can take that red and I'm going to do more with it, but imagine now I can bring it.
Is it going to be that dark red?
Wait and see.
I'm
Let's wait and
curious
see.
because I'm trying to see.
Well,
Will be a
let's
big
wait.
reveal.
But do you
Yeah.
see how all of a sudden your eye starts to skim across here?
Right.
All right, let's yeah, you're right, Cheryl. That was a good question, but I need to ignore you for a second.
All right.
So watch what happens when I do it over here. You see how those little hints, all of a sudden our eye is
Yeah.
Yeah.
playing? Again,
It
this
makes
is
your
not the
background
finished.
pop a little too.
Yeah, this is not the finished result by any means. But do you see how all of a sudden this area right here feels a little bit like your eyes are not fully focused?
Yes.
Like you can't focus because this is so bright.
I guess there's not enough red in the background at the sun.
Yeah.
Look like it's red enough. I mean,
You are
that red.
impossible to ignore, Cheryl. Cheryl. Yeah, so what I was gonna do is come back in next week and glaze in with reds
All right.
Exactly.
and
All right.
warm yellows and blues and purples
right.
and really show you how they're like getting this close. Yes, I could absolutely come through right now.
That answers my question
Yeah,
perfectly.
so let me go
I
ahead and
just needed to know where all that red was coming from.
totally. Let me just throw, and this red is way too bright, like you're saying. But watch what happens when I just bring a band of that in.
Mm.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Way too strong to be that far back. Do you see how that strength wants to bring it forward?
Mm-hmm. Okay, now I feel better about the whole thing.
No, your
I have
questions are
trouble
always
with my color anyway, and
your questions are always really good. You're just 2 steps ahead of where I'm going.
sorry.
No, that's good. I just can't keep up with you. But actually, I mean, I think that really helps. I think that was a good idea because that all of a sudden ties that in. So you
Yeah, it
see how
does.
having this red and this backlit color, I can get away with a lot. So here's the hard part for me now is because I could spend a lot of time, especially with a little brush. This is a long filbert. You see how long those bristles are? And they really like to dance. Like they make just the most interesting marks, which is really good for me when I'm just trying to, just letting that brush dance. I'm holding it really lightly, loosely. And yes, these trees aren't going to be red, but what I will do is come back in and I can paint across the tops, paint in the shadow sides. Again, this is the area that's the light, especially with a soft light, an atmospheric light like this, a foggy light, it's wrapping around. I like to think of soft light as a light that hugs the object, right? Which means dissipates the edges and softens the edges and illuminates the edges. Towards the light source, it'll generally even get more obscured just because our eyes can't focus, right? You've all seen that when you're trying to look into a strong light source and there's some like a figure in the foreground or a tree, your eyes just won't focus on it. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
definitely.
Totally.
So that's the first thing I want to show you, and I'll come back and refine this and see if we can make this make sense. The next thing I want to do is, again, I have these big dark masses, right? They just, it would drive my wife crazy. My wife hates it when I have big flat areas in my paintings, like big mountains and things. She's like, I think she just has better eyesight than I do. She's like, I see detail. And so I want to figure out how am I going to break this space up, making it make sense to the water, making it make sense to the coastline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to a mid value. It'd be really easy, and maybe I should jump to a light, meaning like the highlights where the light is really hitting, the sunset light is really hitting those rocks, which would not, I could still do it that way and then come back in. But I'm kind of wondering what would happen if I did it with mid values, or, you know what I mean, still dark cools. Please let me know if that makes sense to you.
Yes.
All right, so I'm not going for my lightest lights yet. I'm not going for big temperature or color shifts. I'm going for mid value shifts, because I like to work oftentimes from dark to light. So what I'm going to do really quickly is figure out the formation of these rocks so that then I can come in and add color and light to those rocks.
Okay.
I also know that I want this wave to come up a little higher and make this kind of a C formation a touch stronger, possibly, except for it already feels really big for not having any other waves.
Mhm.
All right, so
A
let's,
question, this is completely disconnected from a real place, or is it based roughly on a real place, or is
oh,
it
it's based,
a
yeah,
memory?
like, no, yeah, if you go to the Oregon coast, and I had a black and white photo of it somewhere.
I think you did, yes, a long time ago,
Yeah,
Somewhere.
when we first started.
yeah. We get these a thing called the king tides out here, which are just
Yeah,
2 or 3 times a year, and you get these huge crashing waves.
and
so
you
this
guys
is an
went
area.
especially to see it, didn't you?
Oh yeah, we do it now. We've booked it already ahead, like every time for the next year, because we love it so much. Yeah, it's just, there's something amazing about seeing just
So-
20, 30-foot waves crashing.
So at this point, you're basically working on remembered.
Memory, and then I took a bunch of black and white photos, kind of forcing myself to. So yeah, there was, yeah, I'll find it if I'll find it and I'll share it.
Well, to
But
me,
I
it almost
apologize, I
looks,
can't find it right now.
it almost
No
looks like
problem.
you're around the bend of that last painting that we did, because that triangular rock out in the
Right.
water, that
Mhm.
looks kind of like a different view of the same rock that was just.
And it's all based on an area called Depot Bay,
Oh yeah,
which is just south of Lincoln City here in Oregon. And it's just a beautiful, and they're actually volcanic rocks. So they actually are very dark.
Are these
And there's
volcanic
beautiful
rocks, Michael?
What's that?
Are these volcanic rocks?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
Oh, okay.
Aren't most of your
I-
rocks
I'm not-
volcanic in that area?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the coastline at all. I've never been out there, so you know,
But yeah, probably mostly they are volcanic, but some are
Mhm.
all volcanic. Some rocks are all black. Some, no, there's all different sorts of rocks formations. All right. Enough geology.
yeah.
Mostly
Would this be
volcanic.
Little Whale Cove?
Yes. That is exactly right.
Out here in the desert, a lot of the rock, the tops of the mountains or sides of the mountains will be black, and then it'll be like some kind of sand or less rocky, and a gray or a purple. The mountains are beautiful colors up close out here.
Have you ever been to Valley of Fire?
No.
It's in Nevada,
Oh,
not far from Vegas.
oh, I'll have to go. It's close.
I've been to the Garden of the Gods. That's bright
Mhm.
red, everything. is bright
Mhm.
red.
Yeah, Colorado, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so can you guys kind of see that rock formation? So I don't want like a big straight. I'm thinking like it'd be nice to have some surface for these trees to live
Mhm,
on, right?
right.
Comes down, and again, I'm just kind of making it up, kind of like, you know, as when I was putting these big dark shapes in, I was thinking about it. And let me know if I need to go a little lighter, if you can't quite see.
No, I can
I
see
can
it.
see them. They're
Oh,
beautiful.
good.
And that side needs
What
to be
about
a
that?
lot cooler than the left side.
Yes, in the shadows. So I'm constantly thinking what's in light, which on this is barely the rim, right?
Yes.
All this is in shadow. But I also, again, like I said, I've got reflected light from the dome of the sky. So I'm thinking of like, what are interesting shapes? Like I've got this line. What else, what other line could I do? I could bring maybe something. I don't want to mimic this line, right? If I put it the same, it'd be boring. But we know that we have crashing waves in here, right? So a lot of times these cliffs aren't just straight down, they're concave underneath.
Mhm.
Yeah. Right there.
And that's something that really bugs me, is when I forget that there's concave shapes.
Mm.
And I just thought of the fact that they're literally called cave.
That's where the word comes from.
Right, concave. Huh. Stepping back, observing. You see how I'm moving this brush? So again, a flat brush like this, beautiful. It's probably one of my best flat brushes, as far as I haven't used it very much. Has that really hard edge, real squared edge. So when can you guys see over here on the palette? Yep. When I let it move and twist my fingers and change the pressure, see how I can make so many different edge qualities? So you want to be able to let your brush dance.
Looks like that's an aspen, is it?
An aspen tree?
No, the brush name. The
It
type.
is, yeah, an aspen by Princeton. Yeah, good, great brushes.
Oh, I just got some freebies from Streamline of that.
Ah,
Haven't
you've got
tried
to
it
take
yet.
pretty good care of them. I've already noticing that this paint's getting down into the ferrule, so I'm going to want to get it out of the ferrule as soon as this
Right.
class is over, so it doesn't dry in there. The synthetic aspen is a synthetic brush, so it's really nice and soft, the bristles, which is great for this kind of sketchy, dancey stage. But I really notice if I let the paint dry in the ferrule of a synthetic, it really blows it out and becomes the crazy troll hair.
Then you can make
Brushes.
a bush brush out of it.
Exactly, but I already have enough of those.
Okay.
What I don't have enough of is good edge brushes.
Yeah. That's kind of where mine are right now. I need some.
Michael, you know that line that you wanted to go the opposite way there, that goes straight up and down?
On
You
the
see it?
rock?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, you mean Daryl?
Yeah, Daryl and his other brother, Daryl.
Mhm.
Yeah, could we break that up and have that go a couple places, but not be contiguous?
Perfect.
Yes.
I like the softness.
Much better.
Yay or nay?
Yay.
Yeah. Yes, right there, it can come down a little. Yep,
Yeah, much better. That's like the invitation to go around
like a
that.
ledge or something there. Yeah,
I like the softness that it created on the rock ledge, the face, when you wiped it away and then you added more color on top of it. It's nice.
Yeah, it's so like this part is like I don't know how to say it, but this is the part I don't know, right? I'm just testing lines. I'm just trying to feel out. I think this would be like if you're a musician, like just strumming your fingers on the guitar and just kind of seeing
Yeah.
what tune starts to poke out. Now I'm going to go back to my red just because I want to see what happens if more light gets through here and it becomes flatter.
Hmm. Where does it come from?
The sun.
No, well. It feels like it's not at the right angle, just that part right there. Like
Yeah,
it
I
can
want
come
this to
through.
just feel like it's just being enveloped in soft light.
Okay, all
So
right,
like literally I can come back in and even just soften all this. Maybe that will help.
okay.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I just want
Yep.
this. Maybe that is helping, I think. Yeah, that that is the hardest part about teaching is I know what I'm thinking. I try to speak it the best words me can, but
Now that's cohesive.
Yeah, and you did, at first you had a lot more paint in that little triangle up there. And
right. And
there's
this is
less
still not
now.
even the color it's going to end up. This is just, again, notes
Right.
for myself.
Okay,
Yeah.
This is how we should paint and allow ourselves to look at it again a few,
mhm,
let it rest, and then darken little angles, lighten little angles.
Call
And
up 16 of your best friends and ask them to all
Yeah.
give you feedback
Yeah.
at the same
Ask them
time.
to critique you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first
Let's
stroke.
just keep marking in these rocks. Oops, shoot. Let's keep marking in these rocks for a little bit, just so we can figure out kind of a design structure.
This is just second layer. He's going to come back and do all kinds of things to it.
Yeah, no, this is the first layer of the darks. Yeah. So what happens is I put in the no tan and you figure out your lights and then you break your lights into two values and then you break them into, more values as far as you want to go. The same thing happens in the shadows. So right now I'm just taking these shadows and I'm breaking them into two values. But from here, I will figure out, what areas are really picking up the light, the reflected light, the direct light, and what areas are completely in shadow. And I can literally hear all of you guys like, oh, not the line I would have made, not the shape I would have made.
No,
It's
I'm
like when,
watching objectively.
it's like when someone else is driving.
yes,
Yeah, totally.
exactly.
That's a great metaphor. Yeah. And a lot of times when I'm painting, I feel like somebody else is driving. Because I'm just testing. Again, you saw me wipe
Yeah.
out the line over here.
Yeah.
And it's just, okay, so now I don't want the trees just on the edge, right? I want those trees coming down into the foreground. Can you see that line?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's nice.
And see how that breaks that up? And I don't want all of them doing it.
I was gonna say, yeah, you want some on either side of the rock.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. A lot of them are in the background. So if that's the case, then I got to go, okay, well, where are these trees growing from? They're probably, if they're pine trees, not growing directly out of the rocks. They like a little bit of a flat, strong, area. They're very amazing where they can grow, but
Right.
generally not right out of tree or right out of cliff sides. So, okay, so how do I give them something to live on?
Michael, what a.
And you're not up in the mountains, are you? These aren't these scraggly trees that are at the top of a mountain.
Well, our ocean doesn't go that high.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, no, I mean, these are the same kind of trees in Oregon. I mean, a different species, but yeah,
Okay.
and they look, it's funny when you go to the coast, they're spindly. And then when you go high up into the mountains, they're spindly.
That's why I was asking, because that's kind of what they remind me of.
Yeah, it is a funny thing, but it's along the coast, it's due to the weather and the elements and the wind and everything else, and salt water I don't think is really great for them, but they're amazing, like how resilient they are.
It's the same in Maine. And a lot of it. Right,
And
Linda?
that is always my fear, is kind of a paint by your feelings, paint by your, poetically, is that somebody's like, that tree only grows at 5,000 feet, altitude. I'm like, I made that tree up.
It's a generic tree.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of the trees I draw, people are like, oh, you've been to the South, right? Because they look swampy and kind of.
Yeah.
They look like Linda cypress trees.
Yeah.
I've never even been there besides.
Cypress trees are really
barely.
spindly.
Michael, when you go to the South, let me go with you. I'll show you around.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Take you to some good places to eat and dance and see the swamps and the bayous. Oh my God.
All
And the
I heard is take
monastery.
me to some good places to watch you dance.
Yeah, I love to dance. I love to dance. And the thing about it in Louisiana, girls can dance with girls or their little boys.
No, my wife would love that. I think that's our biggest thing in our relationship is Michael doesn't dance very much.
Oh, I know what kind of marriage that is.
Yeah, me too. My husband doesn't dance either.
No, you know what dancing leads to.
Yeah, there's nothing
Yeah.
sexier than a man that can dance.
I heard painting, but whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
My husband just likes to hug and moan.
oh,
Yeah.
there's nothing like dancing with a little Cajun guy that doesn't speak English and tries to tell you to loosen up because you're too stiff and too tight.
At least that's what you think he's saying.
Yeah, that's what I
doesn't
thought
speak
he was
English.
saying.
All right. So do you see how I kind of just marked in these spots? This is getting a bit busy up here, and everything will simplify and everything will also organize itself. So there's a number of ways I can approach it, right? I can just start to lighten up.
Oh, Michael, that hole that used to be a opening is now a dark cave and it's beautiful
It's
for that.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Keep that a cave.
Wait, you see a cave?
Yeah,
We
I
see a
filled the
cave
cave in.
Yeah.
right in back of that.
you filled it in, but it's like all rock. It's beautiful.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's pretend that let's not pretend. We know that the light is coming across here. So now I can start to mark here and figure out where is my light coming. And I can just do it really lightly, right? And I'm just testing. Again, if I was working from better photos or a better sketch, right? But I just started with kind of a no tan idea. You see how all of a sudden that light hopefully is kind of coming across? It's not
Yes, it
really strong. That might be a little too strong actually already.
Mhm.
But I wanted to give these trees somewhere to plant. So I'm trying to think of what's the ground versus just being rocks all the way up. And these are just kind of notes now for you guys, just to kind of show you. The light will be coming across there. And let me just go ahead and mark in. Do you guys mind if I just mark in a little bit in an ugly way here, how I'm picturing the light coming across? Grab a cleaner brush. A better edge is what I'm thinking of. So when I'm painting rocks, I will oftentimes actually pull out my good brushes. You guys see I don't paint rocks that often. I don't need hard edges that often. So I try to preserve some brushes that are clean and have nice square edges. For my rocks and stuff like that, I like to have a crisp edge. So like the foggy things, the clouds will be a soft edge, but if I have a hard edge in the painting, you know, it's going to be less hard edge back here. It's going to get crisper and harder edges as it comes forward. But that allows my rocks to feel more sound, more structural, and my sky to feel more airy and light. I don't know if it's scarier when you guys talk a lot or when you guys get quiet.
Well, I'm just observing
What do you
how
think?
I'm just observing how the colors you have in the mountains in the distance is showing up more or brighter since you put the
Yeah.
warm on the top of that ledge.
Exactly.
I'm just seeing how the colors are all popping in the sky, from the sky to the water, the mountains. And what a nice little wave be sort of kind of rolling toward that edge of the cliff right here in front on the right, on the left, I mean. Like between the two.
Yeah, that's how I kind of
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's how I kind of picture it. I mean, yeah, I don't want to do
Yeah.
it now because I've got only
No,
warm
no.
colors on my brush. But
Yeah. But I'm just thinking, you said you wanted another wave.
yeah. And I was thinking initially like, oh, I need to have a big bursty, you know, something like this. But I was like, oh no, I just need to bring in some darks in the right
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Because they're baby waves, right? They're just
Yeah.
building. And then once they come into this cove, they build up pressure. And it's not painting if you don't do sound effects while you're doing it.
That's right.
All right. So again, still, I'm just mapping. I'm just figuring out, again, constantly thinking of the light's back here. This is an object that's rolling around. How does that light interact? You know, what edges are capturing the most direct light? Sorry, bump my head against the camera. And it's not a race. I don't have to do this in a single stroke. Like here I go, okay, I can do lighter, I can do brighter. But I can take my time, I can sneak up on it, I can do these mid values and figure out my structure and then start to figure out if that's my mid structure.
So
You know, do I want to do the lights first or the shadows first? Either way is fine for me.
I was just Googling Oregon coast rocks, whatever, looking to see what you generally, which definitely this looks like what you're doing. But
Oh, good.
I suddenly dawned on me that you don't get the Western do you get, I mean, what are we looking at here? Not a sunrise, right? It's a western.
Oh, yeah, it'd be a
the
sunset. Yeah.
You just have sunsets.
I mean, we have sunrises too,
But the coloration on the stones,
but they're on this side of the coast.
The
Yeah,
coloration on the stones varies quite a lot when I'm looking at the sunlit
Oh, yes,
version.
yes. Yeah, great observation. You're right. And you know, there's painters that can really make the different colors work, but in my opinion, and let's do this as an opinion poll.
Yeah.
What are the colors of the sunset sky generally?
Orangey red,
Orange. Orange.
Purple,
Yeah. What about sunrise?
pinks.
yellow,
Peachy.
more of pink.
Yeah.
It
It can be really bright when
It
it's out
can.
over the ocean.
It
However,
absolutely can. So, but
you
what's
don't
the
think about that as much.
what's the color shift? What's the temperature shift? More importantly, on a sunset, as a general rule,
It becomes more warm sunset.
yeah. And why do you think that is, Regina?
Thanks. Oops, I'm not Jeannie.
More atmosphere.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
We don't have any scientists with us.
Is it because it's going down?
It's
So the
the-
color is like becoming more intense, whereas like the sun coming up, maybe it's like slowly emerging. I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
You're halfway right.
Yes.
Dust and
You're halfway a scientist.
What's
Dust
happening is
and
the sun goes down,
moisture
you lose the yellow,
and the-
then go to red, then go to purple.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Wait, say that again.
What happens when the sun goes down, first thing to go is the yellows, and you move to red, then you to purple.
Wavelengths.
Wavelengths, yeah. So
Yeah.
because you're using the yellow light first, and then orange and red.
But you also have moisture distribution is different at sundown than from sun up.
Definitely.
All right. I like both of your guys' answers, right? But I think that Jada's agrees more with my sensibilities. So what I think of is overnight, you get a lot of moisture, right? Like clean, cool air moisture. And so you have all those particulates that are gathering up and cleaning the air. And then throughout the day, especially if you live in farmland or where there's lots of cars, you get a lot of pollution.
Yeah. So the weather is clean in the sunset time.
And so you get the cool purples and blues. Like whenever I see, it could be a sunrise, it could be a sunset, but the colors are more in the cools. I think sunrise. And I think we all do instinctually. It sounds like that.
I think so.
And I don't think we all think about why. But I think that I think you guys are all correct. I think that there's, the short bandwidths of the different colors. There's the, but I just think of the mornings are cooler, sunsets are warmer. They don't call sunrise the golden hour.
This is true.
What's funny is it's much harder to paint a sunrise than a sunset as a plein air painter, because with the sunset, you can prepare for the sunset, you can paint all the stuff ahead of time, get everything ready, and then even though it's the same length of time roughly in terms of the actual descent below the horizon, you're ready for it, and you have time to then dash in there and fling some wonderful reds and yellows and whatever. The other way round, sunrise, you can't see what you're about to be seeing.
No, you go and set up in the dark.
Yeah.
You basically have to go, the day before, get all the forms in place.
Yeah, correct.
Well, this is true.
I will never be a sunrise painter.
No,
I love
me
sunrises.
either.
I
I
love
know you
sunrises.
do, Linda. I don't know how, but you do.
My self just wakes up like an hour before sunrise.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
I've
I
been-
think of sunrise as more extreme version of it.
Yeah.
And no, I mean, I hang out with so many painters, and so few of them will join me at sunrise.
Yeah, it's
But
tough.
at sunset, you know, we got a bottle of wine, we got 8 people out there, we're hanging out.
I mean,
Yeah.
sunrise is usually colder, you know,
Definitely, no, and your
Yes.
feet are wet from the grass and the dew,
and you've just gotten out of bed and you're going, really? Did I
and
really
there's
think this was a
still
good idea?
still
It's
bears
dry.
walking around.
It's dry. There's no dew here.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if which coast you're nearest determines whether you are a morning person or a night person.
Oh, that's an interesting.
I don't know. I'm an East Coast person, but I've never been a morning person ever in my life.
I've always been a morning person. Since infancy, I crawled out of my bed and it was really hard. I remember crawling out of my crib. It was some kind of little wrought iron looking bed, and it was a struggle the first time, but honey, I got it down pat.
Don't worry, Mom and Dad, I've already taken care of feeding all the animals.
Well, I'd go out and just talk to them, walk through. There in Louisiana, there was a lot of moisture and the dew in the morning, and I'd be soaking wet when I get back in the house. My gown would be soaking wet. I'd just be a mess.
And then your parents would wake up and say, "Where have you been?"
Well, my mom would wake up to go check on me, and I wasn't in the bed, and she would run outside screaming, "Linda, Linda," and I just wouldn't answer her, and I just walked back silently to meet her, and she just grabbed me and sometimes slapped me at my butt. Oh my God.
Oh, Linda, you must have been a trip.
I was a terrible child. I never stayed. My mom could never find me in the bed in the morning. I'd go out and sleep with the wild horses. That was the crazy part.
A wandering heart.
I'd cross a
Oh, no,
huge
that's
big road and go down and walk among the horses, petting them. They never moved. They never stepped on me. And when my mom screamed, 3 of them would make a triangle around me and let all the herd go. And sometimes I asked my dad later, I said, "Dad, how many horses were there in that?" Because, you know, I saw horses, just a multitude of horses. And I just want to go pet them because I'd go pet my daddy's horses, you know. And he said, "Linda, sometime there were over 100 horses." And they'd come drink at his water trough that he had open so they could drink. And my mom would run out the house screaming, "Linda, Linda," and the horses would hear her and get up and start moving off. And those horses would protect me. And my mom couldn't get to me. She would see me and the horses were around me. She said I scared her to death almost.
My parents just put me in my bedroom in the barn.
Yeah, that's right. You
Circuit in the
slept in
whole
the
system.
barn.
Next, you should try drop bears.
Yeah, exactly.
I reckon you probably handle them better than me. But speaking of being a morning or, you know, evening painter, so who's going to get up at 1:30 in the morning and be a nocturne painter with me?
Oh.
I'd still be up at that time.
Well, plus, isn't that like our lunchtime? So we're pretty easy.
True. I'll have to get a really good camera. Whoop.
I was up painting 7:30 yesterday and remembered that plein air painting really is a young person's game.
Are you looking at a reference, Michael?
No.
Not really. No, I mean, I have the black and white photo, which is like so I think I'm overdoing it now with the light. That's
Yeah, I think you
enough
need to stop.
to.
It looks really nice.
It does look good.
Very
But I've
nice.
spent a lot of time thinking about it. So, like, okay, do you guys want me to? Do you care about this side, or would you rather I work on these trees a little
Yeah,
bit?
work on this
Yeah,
tree.
do that.
But you can see what I was thinking, right? I just constantly imagining the light coming across, the light coming across. So it's like every brush stroke I have to go, could the light get to this rock? Yeah, it could. Is it strong or is it soft? Right? Okay, is this in the
Needs to be
shadow? this probably barely gets light. Maybe I could peek out a couple of these rocks over here.
Now that's behind the wave.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's, you know, you're just constantly thinking what's at front, what's behind. So let me go ahead and scrape up some of these. Did I ever tell you that I've told you about my sister's big property that she lives on in Montana with like 5,000 acres with all the 1 mile long driveway and all that stuff.
Wow.
They take old horses, like, and you know, people that don't want to kill them, and they just, well, it's not even rescue. They just let them go in this huge property, and there's a herd of just old, beautiful horses. They get to live out their life as basically wild horses at the end of their life. And they do put out huge, you know, those big, huge round bales and stuff.
Yeah.
But they don't do anything medically for them or anything like that. And it's just, you know, sometimes you don't see them like when you visit, and other times, you know, they're down in the valley, and it's just so, it just feels so neat. So, you know, when your parents told you they were sending your horse to the farm, maybe it was this one.
That would be a nice farm to go to.
Oh, it's beautiful out there. Yeah. So beautiful.
So the rear stones on the left side, the ones that are the front of the pan, the stone, go up on the left, the cliff, keep going forward toward the sun, the sun. Okay, don't go past there, just the front one.
That's the cave.
The front one. Yeah, just keep where your forefinger is. Go right. Go right, young man, go right. Too far. That piece.
There.
That whole section, okay, that whole section is facing the part that's lit up. And because I'm looking at all this reference, I see that would be actually lighter. That would actually reflect the stones that are lit up here way over on the left. They would actually, and that wave too, all that would be lighting it up in this sort of glowy way. Because there are some here that I can see have a kind of misty glow that are bouncing the light from the stone that's actually being hit directly with the sunlight. So I thought you might want to see if that was an interesting effect.
Right.
Not that
Would that be partly because those rocks would be wet?
Could be. But it was one that I wouldn't have thought of.
Stay out of the cave, Michael. You just put step in the cave.
No, yes, wrong place.
He can do what he wants.
Of course.
Michael, let him paint.
I'm
never going to argue.
He's hung himself up to dry, so we have to make sure he gets wet.
Oh.
Michael, are you going to need therapy after today?
Yeah.
You guys are my therapy. That's the worst part. You thinking like that, like a mist is reflecting, or the rocks are reflecting?
Yeah, it was more up the side of the rocks. There is where I was talking.
Yeah, it would just
not
be
that
a
one,
touch lighter.
not that one. The front one, that one.
That one, yeah.
That flat part, the flat part of that one is facing the sunlit ones in the far left. So it gets a little bit of a bounce haze. I mean, the kind of hazy thing that you're interested in is actually on the stones that are reflecting.
And you're basing this on photos that you found online?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
It exists.
Super unrelated for a second, but just while we're talking, it just came into my mind. Something that helps me to paint every single day is if I'm working on something, even just for like 10 minutes, I've got all these little tubs that I got, like 12 of them, I'd say, for like $6 or something. So if I don't get to finish something, I just chuck it in one of those. But if I have too much for one of those, I've just got all these leftover little bottles from like medicines, and I just put them in there. Or if you ever get like takeaway. What do you guys call it?
Oh, I use that all the time. You weren't here on Thursday. We talked about that.
To go.
Yeah, instead of any sort of fancy setup, I've just got something that had rice in it from the Chinese restaurant across the road. And that's it. And then eventually it gets crusty and gross, and then I turn it into like a saucer for plants. Why not? Why not?
The weekly pill divider things. We have a store called the Dollar Store.
Yeah.
And you can go buy them from there, and it has 7 compartments, and you can just put all your colors in there.
Yes.
I know the Dollar Tree and stuff.
Yeah,
I know
same
these
thing.
shops. Yeah, there's on YouTube you can look up people getting food from Dollar Tree, the dollar store, and then trying to turn it into like something delicious. And it's entertaining. The food, yeah, the shopping culture in America is very entertaining to the rest of the world.
Well, some dollar stores do have fresh vegetables, which is good.
Yeah, I agree.
Ours don't.
Ours does not. No.
No.
Well, the one that did have a lot of fresh vegetables, really as good as the big grocery stores, it went out of business after about 55, 60 years, about a year and a half ago.
What was it?
It was called the 99-cent store. It's
Oh, well, that's why we're getting rid of pennies.
yeah, they're getting rid of anything that's a dollar store.
Yeah, it's now $1.25, but we still call it the Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
We have like we have one really big franchise, and it's called the Reject Shop. So it's like all the
I like that idea.
I actually get canvases for the studio from the Reject Shop because I know that these kids, they're just going to destroy them. So I'm like, fine, you don't get the good stuff. But then we also have $2 shops is what we called them. But now everything in there is like $5 minimum.
We have one called Five Below.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 5 Below.